Good
All
morning,
right.
Denny.
Now,
Hey guys, welcome. It's 1 o'clock. Let's get going. Uh,
Go. Yeah.
so here's how we're gonna roll. You guys, this is your hour, and I would love to have some great conversations. You can raise your digital hand and whatever topic you want. I'm not preaching a lot today. I would rather just focus on what you'd like to dive deep into. We'll take the whole hour. However, if you don't have anything you want to, any area you want to get better at, we can call it quits whenever you want. So raise your digital hand. I got Don in here helping me out. We might have Matt. We'll see. So raise your hand. What would you like to discuss? Ask, role play, and if you want to throw stuff at me, I'm game. You can't stump me.
Thing you want to get better at?
Door knocking, please.
All right. So what's your question about door knocking?
A to Z, everything.
No, it don't work that way, Kevin. You've got to have a question. So are you door knocking now?
I am.
All right. And so we have an expert door knocker with us. He is the number one knocker in the world. So he wears he's got a glove he has to wear to protect his knuckles. So let's hear what you got, Kevin, and I'll let Don kind of polish you a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Don. I remember hearing it from a couple of years ago, a year or so ago. He said he knocks on like 100 doors a day or something. People just feel flat. They just come. You knock on the door and they just look.
Well, let's hear what you do. Come on, this is we can't help you unless we got to look at your golf swing.
Yeah, okay, you got it. Okay, so I go up and I knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and most of the time people don't show up, you know. So I get him to try to get him to open the door or whatever, and be more one-on-one, and say to them, give him my name.
All right, no. Let's do this in a different way. Knock on the door, and Don will answer.
Knock, knock.
hey, may I help you?
Hello, and my name is Kevin Dolan. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm good. What can I do for you?
Hey, I'm a real estate agent in the area, and I'm just wondering if you had if you knew anybody that might be wanting to buy or sell in this area.
No, not right now, but thanks for coming by.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of stop at that point.
All right,
So
so I'll let
I don't know
Don.
what to
I'm
say
going to give
after
you just a little bit of filler, and so let me just say, I know Kevin has been one of the most loyal attendees of RECON for the last 3 or 4 years, and sometimes even not RECON but Mastery, and he's in California. So I know he's very learning based, but I'm just going to tell you, it sounds like that really wasn't well. Forget about the words so much. Even the words you use didn't seem practiced. Now, the words matter, but what matters more, whatever you're going to say, it's got to be practiced. It can't be like your first read if you want the part in the movie. Does that make sense?
I 100% agree with you. I shoot from the hip, and that is why I finally had enough guts to ask you today to get that.
So let's talk about then words that can use. Matt is a caller. He might have some input here, but Don is the knocker. So Don, why don't you coach you a little bit on what words you use and what might help him?
Sure. First thing, Kevin, good job at least getting out there. I wouldn't recommend asking, how are you?
Okay.
You don't really care. And they certainly don't. And it's like, dude, I'm opening my door.
Tell me why you're here.
I got macaroni and cheese burning. I got 3 kids. I'm holding back a dog. I mean, all this stuff happens to me. When a guy answers the door and he's holding a baby and holding back a dog between his legs, I got 3 seconds. So how are you is not going to lead to it. So the second item that I wrote down as we did that, you always got to have something of value to hand to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be like, all right, let me just role play the first bull ride with Matt. Knock, knock.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Yeah. What's going on?
Matt, I'm Don Aldrich with Keller Williams Real Estate. I have a house here's the door hanger. Here's the information about a neighbor I have for sale. Just wanted you to have it in case you know somebody that might want to move into the neighborhood. Is that fair?
Yeah, not a problem. I don't know anybody right now, but I appreciate the info. What's it listed for?
It's right now on the market at $899. And you know, being here in Scottsdale Ranch for 25 years, you can't get in here for less than $1 million. So I figured who better to promote it than somebody like you who knows the neighborhood well.
Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it in mind.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. If you know anybody, certainly call me. And then if I've got any more rapport, Kevin, I might say, hey, Matt, when this sells, can I give you a call back?
Yeah, sure. No, not a
Great.
problem. Give me a call.
How do I contact you?
Yep. And then put here's phone number, email.
Get the number, email, and hey, thanks very much. And I leave. I respect his time, gone. He then gets a handwritten thank you note in the mail within a couple of days. And I write him, hey, Matt, thanks for talking to me at the door. Kevin, even if it's 10 seconds, all right, and they shut the door, they typically shut the door with my information that I handed to them.
Mhm.
It's a reflex to take it.
Mhm.
Even if it's a short conversation, it's always thanks for talking to me at your door. Appreciate your time. When you hear of someone, when you hear of a neighbor or a friend, not someone, when you hear of a neighbor or a friend who has a real estate need, please let me know how I may be of service to them. Thank you. That's the thank you note. They get a card, they get a little advertisement about it. So Matt's going to get information from me. So again,
Yep.
how are you's got to go away. You've got to bring something of value, hand it to them, and 9 times out of 10, maybe more, they'll take it. It's a reflex that they're just going to take it. And then always ask about somebody else first. Hey,
Yeah.
Matt, who else might you know that wants to move into Scottsdale Ranch? Gosh, I don't know anybody. Great. How about you? When do you plan on making a move?
Right.
Always ask about somebody else first. And then if you have rapport, come back and say, how long do you live in the area? Where did you move from? How'd you have to pick this area? And you go from there, if you can get to that point.
Yep.
Okay. So can you knock on my door and I ask you a few questions?
Yeah,
Do what?
Yeah,
sure. He wants me to knock on his door.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So you're the consumer.
Yes.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
and Kevin, just so you know, I knock first, back away after about 10 seconds. Then I go back and ring the doorbell.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
So they answer a knock, but they may not have heard it. Then I do the doorbell. I never doorbell first. Anyway.
No, that's good.
Okay. Knock, knock.
Go ahead.
Hello, who's there?
Hi, I'm Don Aldrich with Keller Williams. Kevin?
Yeah, how do you know my name?
Well, I looked it up. I've been knocking doors in here for 25 years. Thanks for answering the door. I finally caught you. So here's some information on a house I have for sale here in Scottsdale Ranch. And I just wanted you to know about it in case you know somebody that would like to come to my open house tomorrow or maybe see it down the road. Fair enough?
Beautiful. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I'm knocking on the door and I'm new to the neighborhood, I'm new to the city, and I'm new to the county. What do I do then? I have no listings. I just sold a property a few months ago, but it was in a totally 100 miles away. What do I do if I'm new to that neighborhood, new to the city, new to the county, new to everything?
Is there a house in the neighborhood that's sold in the last 6 months?
Yes.
Is there a house that's currently for sale?
Yes.
Okay. So before you go like that, at least I've got it right here in front of me. I just did it. Have a list of all the homes that are for sale, pending, and closed over the last 6 months. You can do a little one-line sheet because they might ask you. But secondly, before I knock on that door, if I were you, if I came into your area, I would go preview 2 or 3 homes in that area, know them cold, so I can say, hey, Kevin, there's 3 homes for sale in the neighborhood, running between 800 and 1.2. Just want to find out, who do you know that might want to move into your neighborhood? You got to know it better than they do when they answer the door.
No, I appreciate that. No, that makes a lot of sense. It's a lot like telephone calls. Don't have wasted language.
It's
You got to know. You got to know what you're talking about.
Call.
And you
I'm
can
sorry?
even say, hey, you could say we, because it's we as an industry. Or you could say, a home just sold. You don't have to say I sold it, but let them think that if they do. You can say a home just sold down the street and it was listed at 850 and it sold in 4 days. Who do you know that might want to move into the area? Because there are others. Would you want to know?
Hang on, Kev. We've got a Robin Russell sent. I've never heard of this. Certain communities are asking for a rebate. It sounds like Iraq or Iran and the Houthi Strait. They want to get a kickback. What, a rebate if you do business by knocking on doors? Robin, what's going on?
Sorry, I had to get off mute. Yeah. So I got an interesting phone call about 11 o'clock last night. The phone scared me, so I answered it, half asleep. And the guy wanted to see my listing, and my listing's under contract, but he wanted to look at other units in the same complex. So, of course, I was half asleep when I answered the phone, so I shouldn't have answered it. And he said, we'll meet you there tomorrow at 10 o'clock and we'll look at the units. And I said, perfect. So I met him there. And he got out of the vehicle, he and his wife, and they were going to go look at it. And I said, well, state of Texas, I need you to sign this 1-page representation agreement so I can show you these units. Went through this spiel with him. He said, well, I have a broker. And I said, oh, you have an agent currently working with them? Or yes, we've been working with this agent for a long time. And his wife got this really sour look on her face. And I said, well, by the look of your expression on your face, you really like to work with this agent. Yeah, well, and he pipes up, he says, well, I have another question. We get a kickback from our agent when we work with them, 0.5% to 1%. And I said, well, I don't do that.
All right, hang on a second. I think I get the direction where you're going, and I just want to kind of like put a bow in it. And when you said certain communities are asking for a rebate, so I understand. I have heard of, and I'll ask Matt and Don. I don't know of any communities where you have to pay a toll to do business. Is that what you're saying, Robin? Or there's some agents that will forfeit or rebate some of their fee, but not communities.
There are, when I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible.
You don't have to on this.
You're talking about we're talking about ethnicities.
Correct.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Indian community,
okay.
the Vietnamese communities, a lot of the Asian communities, it's customary for them to get something in
Well,
return.
so let me jump in, Robin, because I'm waving my hand as a 6-foot-tall Caucasian gentleman who has a breadbasket of a family, and I mean that sincerely. I have Pacific Islanders, I have Asians, I have African Americans, I have Mexicans, Indians, Pakistani, all in my family, literally. There are cultures where it is considered customary, acceptable, and it is not just customary and acceptable, but it is looked at as polite to haggle.
It is.
So I understand what you're saying. However, the issue you're having is not a community or ethnicity issue. It's you took the phone call at 11 o'clock at night, and the one question you didn't ask him is, do you have a realtor?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's yeah, I've got a realtor. Great. Have them call me. That's as far as you would have to go and then ultimately, if they said, well, no, we want you to see it. Well, are you committed to working with this person? Yes, I am. Great. Have them call me. Conversation's done.
And I understand that completely. Yep. This isn't the first time I ran across this. I came from another profession where I dealt with the Chinese community, for example, a lot.
Yep.
And it's
they're professional. Give me a deal. I get it. It's not. I understand. We're not being prejudiced by having this conversation. No, it is a thing.
let me,
It's
hang on a
real.
minute. Is there anybody here from, when you said community, I'm thinking a gated community. I'm not
Oh,
thinking of a
I'm sorry.
population. That's
Right.
what
You were thinking of Stony Brook saying, hey, to do business in here, we need
Me too.
you're
25%.
talking about. I understand
Yeah.
what you mean by this, a community. Is there anybody here that is in one of those communities or ethnic groups or whatever that you run into this a lot that can share what you do in those settings? Because I don't run into it much here. But I would love to hear from somebody else. We'll spend a few minutes here, and if it's not, I agree with Matt. I even watched some of the reactions, Robin, when you were telling the story of people on my Brady Bunch here. When you said when you got there, they said they had an agent. I saw the reaction. I thought, oh, you probably should have asked that question up front, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I knew that when I was sitting there waiting for him to come in.
Yeah. So does anybody want to comment that that maybe you're in that type of community or culture and that's pretty customary? I'm curious. If not, well, Robin, I don't know. Did we help you yet?
No, but
Okay.
I kind of know how to deal with it because I've dealt with it for years. But it's just it's
Well, let me ask you. Nothing. Let me just ask you this. I want to
Yeah.
keep it moving. So let me ask you. Forget about. Matt is 6 foot white guy. I'm 6'2" white guy. I want you to give me some of your commission. How do you handle it?
typically I say no. I mean,
So my
it's
question is, why would it be any different how you would handle it if you're playing everyone kind of the same? Wouldn't it be the same for you guys? I mean, wouldn't the conversation be the same regardless of the ethnicity?
Yeah, it is. It's
it is, but it's touchy.
You know what? You can't give anybody a kickback. You can lose your license. You can never trust them.
yeah, it's
But-
not a kick, right? The semantics of the word, Gene, but it's
Yeah.
they're just asking for a discount, is what they are.
Yeah. Well, you could probably with the buyer's agency agreement now, you could probably maybe if you're willing to negotiate your commission, you may be able to do it that way with them.
Well,
And
you can
then
do that.
it's
You
just-
can give all your commission to anybody that's a party
Mhm.
to the transaction, Gene. So that's not the issue. So you can
Okay.
give it all away.
Yeah, the word kickback refers to refers to professionals, meaning you're a loan officer, I'm a realtor, I refer you a buyer, you give me a kick. Those are illegal, but
Yeah.
I could give you all my commission if I wanted to.
Right.
Robin, let me role play it with you. Why don't you ask me? I'm the one showing the property. Let's forget about the fact that they have another agent. And how are people asking you? And I will handle it. Although I've never had to handle it before, but I'll handle it.
Okay. Hey, Denny, I just wanted to broach something with you. I've dealt with other agents in the past, and they've been giving me a payback on their commissions, anywhere between 0.5% and 1% on the transactions to do business with them. How do you want to handle that?
Well, okay. So are you saying if we agree on our working relationship, are you willing to step into a written agreement for me to represent you? Number one, this is no different than having a conversation with a seller that wants to talk about your fee or talk about the price or whatever. If they're not going to work with you, what difference does it make? So I'm going to close you on that, number one. Secondly, okay, so then, all right, if a seller, just parallel, you guys, if a seller wants to beat you up on fee, what's one of our common comebacks? What's more important to you? What you pay in your fee or what?
What you buy the home for
Yeah.
in a buyer situation.
In a seller standpoint, is what you net.
Mhm.
So my point is, what's more important to you? You getting a piece of the buyer's agent commission or getting a better deal on the house where you save money? You just switch the base.
Yeah.
Anyone can give their money away, but so are you going to feel good because you maybe made a half a point, so you made $3,000, out of the buyer's agent's fee, but you paid $6,000 more because that agent didn't know how to negotiate their own value? How could they negotiate your contract?
Right, right.
Matt, isn't it the same thing?
100% the same thing. So what, Robin, what is most important to you? Is it getting a few bucks at closing and kickback, or is it finding an agent that can negotiate in your best interest?
Negotiate my best interest.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So what I charge X for my services. Outside of what I charge for my services, do you feel I'm the right person to help you?
Well, I'm not sure because I haven't worked with you before, but it sounds like you are. You sound very competent.
Okay. So
It's the
what
same
other
conversation.
Yeah, well,
It
right.
is.
It's so then what I would do there is I'd say, well, what before we get started, because it sounds like, you mentioned there, I haven't worked with you before. Robin, what would you need to know today to know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm the right person to help you? Outside of a discount.
Well, that is important to me to have a discount of some sort.
How would you feel if I found a home that checked all of your wants and needs and we were able to negotiate considerably we were able to negotiate a price that was considerably less than what the list price was? Would that not be a sufficient enough discount to you?
Or, Matt, I'm tracking with you on this conversation. When you said, well, it depends. Well, it's kind of important to me to get the discount. Well, you want a discount on my fee or discount on the house? Which,
Right.
if you
Yep.
can get a half a point off my fee or a half a point off the house, which one would you take?
Right.
Yeah.
And that where I was going with that is I was setting him up to say, well, what would that look like? Because I was hoping he was going to try to put me in a corner. Well, what that look like? Well, Robin, you're asking me for half or 1%, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, which would you prefer? Half or 1% of pocket change from me, or thousands off the sales price of the home?
Yeah, you want 1%, 3,000 from me, or you want 13,000 off the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what I was hoping,
But
Robin,
just-
is you were
so
going
just
to,
flip it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to corner me and say, well, how can you guarantee that? Well, how much are we talking off the price of the home? Then I would have said, well, you're asking me for half or 1%, which that might look like this on the type of home you're going to buy. So do you want to trip over dollar bills to pick up nickels? Or would you rather me save you thousands and thousands of dollars off the price of the home and represent your best interest?
So, Mohammed, we see your hand. Why we're on this, though, so you guys can get how simple this is. Simple may not be the best word, Matt.
Yeah.
Let's just change it now. Let's go back to what we actually practice more. A seller now wanting to hire based on fee. Who would like to role play that? I'll be the seller, you be the agent.
Can I read one thing before we go on?
You betcha.
It's
not like all day.
No. This will be quick. So, guys, years ago, actually August 9th, 2021, I coached a class on commission objections because everybody was freaking out because COVID was going crazy and nobody could find listings. And I was doing just fine. Where do commission objections come from? Okay, I think this will help Robin and it'll help everybody on here. Where do commission objections come from? They tend to come from solely the unmotivated. For sale by owners, people that are investors, market testers, they don't need to buy, they don't need to sell. They come from the unmotivated predominantly. I think we can all agree on that. Because somebody that has a need, they have to do something, they have no qualms in ensuring that a professional is compensated for their skill and expertise. The last thing I'm going to read from the class that I coached 5 years ago now is this. To Robin's point and to Kevin Dolan's point, knowledge equals confidence and ignorance equals fear. So Denny and I are polished in this. We've had this conversation 1,000 times plus 1,000. Knowledge equals confidence and ignorance equals fear. So when we can speak intelligently, we can draw parallels. We know what this is about. You know, I've talked about on here, what is this about? What is this conversation about? You know what it's about. Then all the fear, I have no problems you beat me up for commission because I can handle it. Lastly, how well do you know your market? How often do you practice these things? Because if you don't practice it, like Denny and I are talking about right here, you're going to fall on your face 100 times out of 100. The question is how, like, consider yourself a professional athlete. Okay, you are a professional athlete. What do professional athletes do? They practice. Do you know how much Tom Brady practiced? How much did Tom Brady practice day in, day out? And guess how long he was on the football field for? 1 hour. He practices for months and months and days and weeks on end for 1 hour. So that's just some perspective for you.
So we got Muhammad. Tiffany, we'll come back to you. Thanks. I'm glad you're able to make it. But really fast here, I wanted to do the role play. Who wants to role play with me as a seller wanting to beat me up on fee?
I'll do
And I
it.
want
Business seller.
All right, Maria, fine. Robin, I want you to think about what I'm saying if you're having the conversation with a potential buyer trying to beat you up on fee. So you ask our fee. Our fee is, you know, our listing fee is 3%, Maria.
Mm-hmm. And so another agent that we just interviewed, they're willing to do it for 2. Can you work with us, Denny?
Okay, so we've had many conversations about this. What I want to do is I want to get one point across. Well, are you saying if I do it for 2% that you will use me, or you want me to do better than 2%?
We just want to see what you can do with what I just said. This other guy you're competing with is doing it for 2. What can you offer us?
What if I said 2? What would you do?
I'm gonna ask if you can do it for less than 2.
So is your methodology to do it for less, to get the lowest fee as possible?
We're looking for best value.
Okay, well, maybe what if best value was 4?
Well, we mean in terms of the commission.
Here's the technique I want to demonstrate to you. You sometimes have to go to the ridiculous where somebody's looking for the best fee. When she threw value in there, now it became a different conversation. So what if somebody came in and said they do it for 1%? Would you like that better?
Well, if they're offering the same thing, then it would make sense to go with 1, right?
Okay, what if somebody offered you and they interviewed, they said they give you the long list of things you're going to do, they do it for 0.5%. Well, would that be good?
That'd be really good.
You see where I'm leading her right off the cliff. Then if somebody came in and said they would do it for free, would that be a good hire? What I'm going to do.
Where's the catch?
Yeah, well, what I'm doing is walking her backwards for she'll have the aha. Well, at some point in time, I can't imagine that if I have to pay that little, it's going to be very good. So when you've got somebody you think wants to hire you, Robin, so-and-so that said they do it for this, and they're looking for the best fee. Well, what if I did it for? What if an agent said they do it for free? Would you hire them? And you can get to that point. And again, we've had conversations here, and I'm not going to go into it now, that you're technically free to a buyer and seller, and you should be able to articulate that. Maria's been with me long enough. She could do it. But sometimes take them to the ridiculous. And one of the things you can say is, listen, if someone said they would do it for free, or going back to your question, Robin, if I agree to give you 0.5%, or any agent did, they've just raised their hand and said, you better not hire me.
Right. Yeah.
And they're going to say, well, what do you mean? And then you can go into, well, they can't defend their own value, so they discount it. And Matt had the perfect conversation about the percentage on the house or the fee. So understanding your value proposition both ways and taking them sometimes down that road is kind of like, you can stand your ground. They might even respect you more for it. I want to go, unless you have something to close on that, Matt. I'll go to Muhammad and I'm going to go to Tiffany next.
Right. So when it's a seller, when it's a buyer, you can ask them, how much are you spending here? So you're going to spend $1 million on this property, or we're going to sell your home for $1 million. Okay. And you're asking, you're ready, willing, and able to hire the lowest bidder. How certain are you that by hiring that individual, you're going to net more? Are you willing to make $1 million bet right now that by hiring the lowest bidder, it ends out in your favor?
Yeah.
That's
Gregory says, well, there's discount brokers. Yes, there are. And there's also discount brokers out there that sell food. They're called food trucks. Or they're called street vendors.
Greg, there's a reason why when I want, you're in my area, so I can play with you. There's a reason why when I want the perfect barbecue, I don't go get a McRib from McDonald's.
They're actually pretty good, Matt.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, when I want the perfect baby back ribs, I'm not going to McDonald's. You can get barbecue at McDonald's, but yeah, if that's what, so in short, if that's what they're looking for, great. I'll give you some referrals. Here's all the discounters. Give them a call.
Yeah, our
I'm not telling Muhammad, but the question I have, but the issue is, so, when the legislation came out that said that the commissions were negotiable, or that they were no longer, whatever, all the people that I've talked to so far had their own version or take on what that meant. So they think that's working in their favor when it's not, because it's a differentiator.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. I want to go to Muhammad, then Tiffany. We'll get back to you. Hey, by the way, Matt, our 7-Eleven sells sushi too. If you want sushi, our 7-Eleven.
Ooh, yeah, even better. Food poisoning, certain death.
Muhammad, let's go. What's up?
All right, thank God, you guys picked me because I'm about to go pray. So quickly, I know Robin was saying something about the community situation. I have a similar situation where a guy who wanted to put a listing, and now he's like, hey, yeah, I need a 0.5% of your commission. I told him, listen, the one thing I can do is I cannot give you money at all when it comes to that, because I can go to prison for that. And no, thank you. I need to be wealthy from real estate. And
why would you go to prison for that?
No, I'm just like giving him an example on that will be violating the law of the state for the real estate commission.
Is he the buyer or the seller?
No. He's just gonna give me a referral of his friend.
Oh, I got it. He wants
kickback.
Yes.
Yeah, that would fall into the kickback category. The answer is no.
Yeah, so I did let him know that.
Here's what I say to when people do that. I like my license. It feeds my family. I'm not going to risk losing it. I tell you what I will give you. I'll give you my thoughts and prayers.
Okay.
You got me? Because it's not, I'm not even going to have the discussion with people. Oh, will you give me a kickback if I send you no, I'll give you my thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
If you want to go a little bit higher level and think about this is mastery. I want you to think about it from a mastery level. If this person has influence over I'm going to refer you somebody, but I want to be taken care of, right? And it's against the law, and you tell him that, but that's the way he wants to work. If you think about it from a mastery level, he is hiring or selecting an agent for his friend that will break the law.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is if you find an agent that will do that, make sure you let your friend know that you're referring that they're breaking the law to pay me. Therefore, be careful they don't break the law when they go through the transaction.
Right.
I mean, that's the mastery level thinking. You got to think through that.
Yeah. Are you testing me?
Yeah.
I like to ask that question. Are you testing me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I told him it that way, but not specifically, but it was close to it. And also, one of the main reasons I raised my hand was I had list. What do you call it? I was calling prospecting. I know this morning I asked prospecting too. Now there were this one who picked up the phone call and was like, "Hey, the commission, you gotta speak to the buyer that you're bringing. It was a listing that we saw, and their house was off the market. I was trying to see, no, sorry, it was a for sale by owner. I was trying to see if they would be open to paying the agent commission. Now that for sale by owner was like, no, you gotta get the money from your buyer instead of them paying me that commission. So how do you guys approach that?
When do you need to go pray?
I mean, I'm there standing, which is I have like 4 minutes.
Okay, 4 minutes. All right. So we might not be able to handle it today, Muhammad, but ultimately with the for sale by owners, here's what I'm trying to take away from the conversation. Number one, the home is still available. Meaning they haven't sold it. Number two, are they open to working with realtors? And I don't say pay buyers agents. I don't say hire. Are you open to working with realtors? Okay. And then the next question is, how long have you given yourself to sell the home on your own before you would ever entertain another option? I'm not going into a for sale by owner conversation discussing anything about the brokerage fee. If the brokerage fee comes up, I deflect it. Hey, I appreciate you saying that. You know, when you get the home sold, where are you moving to? I don't care about the commission. I don't care about any of that. You follow me?
Yes.
Yep. So we can go into it a little more when, another day when you've got more time. But guys, if you're getting on the phone with a for sale by owner, and some of the first few lines in that conversation is, yeah, I'm not paying the commission, you need to get it from blah blah blah, there's a problem. But even if it does come up, okay, great, not a problem, appreciate it. Can I ask you a few questions? You notice how I don't give it any energy at all. Just move on to the next question.
So thank you, Muhammad, for waiting your patience. All right, Tiffany, she cleared heaven and earth on her calendar. You're muted, Tiff. On the phone, I don't know. You still there. You go.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, the listing appointment ended up being short because they have zero equity. So there you go.
All right.
Oof.
You found out. Good.
Yeah.
Where do you want to pick up?
Gosh, where are we going to pick up? You had talked about earlier today, I'm trying to remember the objection that we were overcoming. Wanting to lower the sale price or to
right. You want to list higher so you have room to negotiate.
Right.
Right.
I was talking about the better way listing system. You want to get them down. They had multiple offers, and Matt and I had the conversation with you, and that'll work for a percent. I don't know, maybe 60% of sellers. Matt would do that. Maybe 70. What do you think?
I would say that it works in a market where the high tide is raising all ships. So the market that Denny and I came out of in 2022. So from 2010 until 2022, the market did the heavy lifting for us, and you could use that approach. And I still discuss the multiple offers, blah, 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 but you got to frame it and context it really well, because if you don't, especially in a market like we're in right now where the market's tanking, you can't guarantee multiple offers in any segment right now.
Well, here's where I'm actually perspiring. This subject is the core, one of my core fundamentals in the book that I'm writing on the physics of real estate. And if anything I want to change and have people look at it differently, it's this. Now, Matt and I have a little bit of a hue on it, but it ends up in the same spot. I believe homes sell because of physics. All right. When you put water in a freezer, the freezer doesn't freeze it. The freezer creates the environment. Physics freezes it. When we sell a property, we have to put that property in the right environment for it to sell. We don't create the environment. We can't change the environment. Are we okay with that? So I learned this the hard way. I've done this for 40 years, but for the first 20, I was probably doing it wrong. There is nothing you can do to cause an overpriced listing to sell. You've got to understand that. No amount of marketing can sell a home that's overpriced. You'll go broke.
So one of the approaches that I take and
hang on. No. Hang on. I got to get this out first. Okay. Then we're going to give you the floor. I want to find out what you believe. Number one, when you have multiple offers, why do you have multiple offers?
Because the price is
I
right.
believe
Now I'm asking Tiffany.
Oh, sorry.
I believe we have multiple offers because we prepare the property and we price it where it needs to be competitive.
You're almost right. It has nothing to do with your preparation.
Well, it's definitely priced.
Okay. It's priced, period. This is a canon you must believe, because it's not like if the house is in great condition, the price can reflect that. If the house is in poor,
price based on commission, or price based on condition and location. Yes.
No, it's not location.
No, price overcomes all objections.
It's price.
Tiffany and everybody on here, I've got $100 bill in my pocket right now. Pause. I'm starting the bidding at $1. Who's getting in on that? Everybody until it gets to a certain point. That's what Denny's talking about here.
And it doesn't matter if it's a brand new crisp $100 bill or a used $100 bill, it has a value.
Right.
So
I 100% agree with you.
I'm sorry?
She agrees.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay. But it's really important when people think price is determined by, condition. If you need price and the location, no, price alone, period.
Right.
So, all right. So now you have a conversation with the seller. It is a strategy that's proven that if you price it low enough, you'll have multiple offers. And even in any market, you can have multiple offers if you ask less than $100 for a $100 bill.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a great strategy. And that's what I heard you say today. However, you're going to have the seller that has a different expectation, that does not want to go and price the $100 bill at 99 or 95. They want 105.
Right.
So that's where I think I wanted to have a conversation with you. How does your conversation now? I'll give you my better way. Matt can give you his, but what do you do in that case, Tiffany? I don't hear anything. So.
I think she's thinking.
Oh. No, she's talking, but it's not coming.
Oh, yeah, I think your Bluetooth disconnected, Tiffany. I think you lost Bluetooth or something. Yeah, I can't hear you. All right. Well, while you're figuring that out, it works in the opposite as well, guys. I have a listing right now. She knows it's not properly positioned. We know we're fishing. We discussed it before we took the listing. It's listed at $459.9, and it's a townhouse that it might sell for $400. And we did the market activity report and discussed what was going on. And then she said, "Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's very valuable." And here's the funny thing: she sends me an email back. She says, "Thank you for this so much, Matthew. I appreciate the information, good or not so much. Laugh out loud. I'd like to make an update, an addition to the content in the listing to include over $120,000 in upgrades toward the top, and I would like it to say sensational as the first word." And then she said, "Let's see what next week brings, as I know it's the spring break and Easter holiday," or was. And I said, "You're most welcome. Happy you find value in the information, regardless of whether it's your desired outcome or not." I said, "We will happily and willingly make the modifications immediately, so long as that we're on the same wavelength, that the amending of the verbiage is not the reason the market is responding the way that it is. Fair?" She replied back, "Absolutely." So it works on the other side of the equation as well. Just like you're talking about pricing, conditioning, location, etc. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I include it's got $1 million in renovations, and the first word is superfragilexpialidocious, whatever the hell that word is. Yeah, that one. It does not matter. That's not the reason it's not selling. And the reason the properties are getting multiple offers in an auction type atmosphere, it's not because of condition and location. It's having to do with how you positioned it. Denny?
Yeah, have you got your audio going yet, Tiff? No, not yet.
Dang it.
All right.
It's probably on your earbuds or something. But anyway, we can.
Gregory, we're going back to you, Gregory. Now, turn your mic back on. And going back to your point, let's bring back up your point, because I know I shut you down because I want to get to these other ones first. So,
yeah. So the point is the discount brokerages that are out there, and you've seen it, right? The 1% or the flat fee pricing. To me, it comes down to differentiation, right? What differentiates us from them? Because the customers are saying, hey, the legislation says that the commissions are negotiable. Hey, these other brokerages are charging 1%, say, for example. How come you're going to charge what you're charging?
My first response, and Matt and I will both hop in on this with my first 2 feet, the legislation's never changed that. Commission has always been negotiable. So that the legislation, as you refer to it, has nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Are we on the same page there?
Yes.
So what we want to do is and we can practice that here, is yes, there is some differentiation. For example, I love Waffle House. My wife wouldn't eat a Waffle House. She likes First Watch. Or she likes to go to the Phoenician. Is there a difference, guys, in food? Yes. Is there a difference in car lots? Yes. So although the public may think we're kind of homogenous, and I'm not sure is it homogeneous or homogenous, but we're not. So you have to understand your value proposition. And the 2 most important things I want you to remember are your market knowledge and your ability to negotiate. The skill of negotiation also means negotiating your value proposition. So we can go through some scenarios. Matt and I are happy to go through some, Greg. If you want to be that customer, we will handle that customer the way you should be handling that customer. So go to Matt and say something to Matt. Give him an objection. He can handle it. I can handle it, but I've already said my piece. I'll let Matt have the microphone a moment.
Greg, do you like steak?
Yes, of course.
Okay. If you were going to cook one, what would you cook it on?
The grill.
Grill? Why?
I want the crust on the outside so it stays juicy on the inside.
Why not a microwave?
I don't want to ruin it.
Okay. So realtors are a lot like, grills and microwaves in some regard. They will deliver the same you'll get an outcome. The steak will get cooked. Your home will get sold. The question is the end result.
Huh?
So that I use parallels like that sometimes and analogies, because you can cook a steak in a microwave, or you can cook a steak on the sidewalk. The question is, what is the desired outcome in the end?
Right.
And
so,
go ahead.
So this is a real example. Now I'm working with the client. Had listed her house.
Just no. Just stop. Give it to me. Just give it to me. You're the client.
Yeah, role play. This is the best way to learn it. You be that client.
Yeah. So, how much is your commission?
You a buyer or seller?
I'm the seller. This is the
okay.
real deal. I'm the seller. How much is your commission, Matt?
I have a flexible fee. It depends on how the property sells. It can range anywhere between 4% and 7%. What's most important to you? Is it what I charge, or what you net?
Well, it's what I net. I want to get 450,000 out of this house. If I pay your commission of 6%, that puts me below my target rate of what I want to get.
Okay. What would the commission have to be for you to net what you need to net or feel you need to net?
1%.
How much?
1%.
I guess we got
To
a
the
bad
to the
connection.
buyer side.
I think we have a
3%
bad
is-
connection, Gregory. I can't hear you. I thought I heard the 10%.
Yeah,
Put
so-
my headset on.
Right. No. You're good. He was just
Oh, I
messing
thought he
with
was
you.
couldn't hear me.
No, he was
Okay.
messing with you.
Oh.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is the only way you net what you need to net is if a broker, if there's zero commission involved or 1% at max.
Yeah, 1% is what I need to get out of it. But
Okay.
1% is what I'm willing to pay. 1%.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. And how certain are you that if you find a realtor that's willing to charge that and to accept an inferior commission, that you'll get the desired outcome? How certain are you?
Well, I have two other realtors packages that I have right here, but they're going to charge me the 1%.
Right, Holt, but that doesn't answer my question, Greg. So
That's the question again.
hire one of them. How certain are you that you're going to be able to net the 450 you hope to net out of this just by virtue of that?
I understand.
Are you willing to make a $450,000 bet right now?
Well, no, I don't want to bet the whole 450. I mean,
Right.
I'm
So-
somewhat reasonable.
Understand. So let's put that aside for a second. Commission aside. Do you feel that I'm the right person to help you?
Yes, I see the I've gone through your information and everything you guys do is great. I see all the marketing and you got to be out there in the social media and all that. That's great.
Okay. What do you get if the home doesn't sell?
If the home doesn't sell, then I've been trying to sell it as a FISBO and haven't been successful and I'm tired of doing the open houses.
Okay.
If it doesn't sell, I guess I'll have to hang on to it for a little bit longer.
Okay. So if it doesn't sell, you get 100% of nothing, right?
Yeah.
Is keeping it an option?
No, I don't want to keep it anymore.
Why is that?
Well, my husband passed away, and now that he's gone, it's just me and my kids live in New York. I own a company up in New York. I don't need this extra hassle on my back.
Okay. And help me understand the significance of the number you hope to net. How did you arrive at that?
That would help me pay off the outstanding debt, plus get me to zero, and then I can move on and go back to my other house. I own another house down the street, so I don't need this one.
Okay. Putting commissions aside, what will you do if the market says no to what you hope to accomplish all the way around?
I would have to sit on it, maybe rent it out.
Okay. Again, is that an option?
Renting out is an option. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a landlord. I'm trying to move up north where my kids are, but if I have to, I have to.
Okay. How long would you be willing to do that?
I'll give it a few months. I'd like to be out of here before summer starts.
So you'd want to rent it for a few months and that's it?
Oh, no. I'll try to sell it for a few months. And if it doesn't sell, then I'll rent it out. And I'll have to hire a property manager to manage it.
Go ahead, Denny.
No, I just said another minute to see if we can put a bow in this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So which pain would you rather endure, Greg? Because you get a choice of two right now. Pain number one, we can get it on the market. We get it sold for every penny that the market will bear right now, even if you're not happy with what that looks like. Commissions aside.
Yep.
Or pain number two, you do not sell this property. You keep it. but you're committed to keeping it for 3 to 7 years while the market finishes correcting and does whatever it's going to do, and there's still no guarantee that it's going to be back in 7 years. Which pain would you rather endure?
Yeah,
So
I guess, yeah, I got
what
you.
did you, Gregory? No, it was all question based, right? In fact, I thought getting to know Matt and his style. I'm asking you guys that are on. We have a very small group here. Many times, what he'll do, and this is what I felt he was starting to do, is when you have somebody like that. Matt was in his counseling mode. He was in his counseling tone, and he was saying, "Hey, look, we're really trying to help them see." And I thought he was almost taking himself out. Hey, listen, we just have a human being conversation. I've done this a long time. And can I just give you some advice regardless who you hire?
Mm-hmm.
And he's starting to walk him down rather than pushing and selling his services. He's basically helping him see, cheaper's not always better.
Yeah.
And, obviously you can't solve everything in a couple of minutes, but did he say something about a health problem, a health issue with his family or something?
No, husband's dead.
Husband died, but I thought there was something else.
Get back up north,
Back to kids.
be close to family.
Kids. Yeah.
Right. I thought, I was thinking of a different parallel, but what did you guys hear in that conversation? And Greg, you can tell us, what did you hear or learn in that 4-minute or 4.5-minute role play?
Yeah, what I heard, and I'll use that next time, because Matt was able to get to the understanding of what's really going on and why what are you going to do if this doesn't happen, and how are you going to handle this if that doesn't happen, and really be more compassionate about it.
Well, okay. Well, so did you notice his tone?
Yeah, definitely changed on it down.
Was Matt selling?
Nope.
Was he going through his laundry list of things he could do for you? Matt was agnostic. In fact, he was that close to probably just walking away anyway. He's there. He might as well have a conversation with you to see if you could see the light. And maybe he would get you leaning that way. But if you didn't lean that way, he'd probably walk away. Did anybody else pick up anything else? Am I reading you right, Matt?
Yeah. The only reason why I went the route that I did at the end is because you wanted to wrap it in a minute. And so I went to the 2 pains. I wouldn't have gone there right away. I would have kept taking you down the path, because here's where I was going. I'm not attached to the outcome. I was helping you self-discover. Put the commission aside. What if this home doesn't sell? Right? I would use that in any market. If it doesn't, because how can you tell me right now your home is worth $450 and you'd be willing to bet $450,000 in equity that by hiring a 1% broker, it's going to result in more money in your pocket? You can't take that bet.
No.
Right. So then where I was going is keeping it an option. Because to Denny's point, I'm ready to walk away. If you're not committed to doing what the market tells us we need to do, it doesn't matter what the commission is.
Yeah.
It might as well be 100%.
Yeah. No, you're right on. I didn't do that with this particular client. Well, I mean, so long story short, she said, "Oh, Greg, I'll give you a call back in a few days or whatever." I called back and followed up with her. She ended up listing with that 1% commission agent. And I said, "Oh, good for you. Good for you. Hope it all works out."
Yeah.
Well,
keep an
it's
eye
still
on
on
it.
the market. It's still on the market. So even the 1% agent wasn't able to sell it either. So now the
Everybody
question
here
is, do I call her back and follow up and say, "Hey,
you
said
can't
a-
call her
said
when
it-
it's Gregory, you can't call her when it's listed.
Set a reminder.
no. When it expires or whatever, would I call back and get back in the pool?"
Greg, set a reminder and check on it every 30 days.
Okay.
Just check on it every 30 days. But here's guys, last thing I'm going to say on this, and I'll turn it over to Denny. Where do commission objections come from? They predominantly come from the unmotivated, people that don't need our help. Did you all hear when I was role playing with Greg right now, how I took him down the path of what happens if it doesn't sell? keeping it an option. Well, I could keep it and I could rent it, but I really don't want to. He was showing signs of suspect. Suspects, i.e., unmotivated, typically only act on I will hire you, or I will work with you if you're able to sell my home for X, if I'm able to get too much money and it doesn't cost me anything. That's how suspects and unmotivated work. I will work with you if you can over deliver and undercharge. That's not my ideal client. Because people that need, remember I said this before, people that need the services that we offer have zero qualms about ensuring that we are sufficiently compensated. If Denny needed open heart surgery right now, the last thing he'd be doing, and excuse my French when I say this, excuse my French, the last thing he'd be doing is looking for the cheapest fucking doctor to do it.
That's why I wanted to bring up the health issue. I was going to go down that road when you had your spouse that had the health issue. Were you shopping for a doctor, a discounted doctor?
Yes.
So,
all right, no, I'd want the most expensive one, frankly, and I'd fly to him.
Everybody on this call, with the exception of Greg, maybe probably goes to a barber, and that's and Greg, you look good with a Mr. Clean type head, but they probably don't pay $1 and go to the cheapest cut hut there is. I wonder why that is. Mm-hmm. Remember that analogy. My wife has, and I've used it before. She goes to this guy named Ryan. If Ryan moves to Hawaii, my wife's flying to Hawaii every 6 weeks. Why? Because of the results. That's what they want to hire. Tiffany, are you still on? I felt like we never got to finish. If you're on and had a technical issue, I'm happy to have a call with you later or something. The rest of you guys, what did you learn today? Give Matt and I and Don a little bit of a aha moment. I see some in the chat, but you can verbalize it and we'll get out of here.
If you generate, you don't have to tolerate. That's one thing I coached in that class that I did, by the way. When you generate other business, you don't have to tolerate the crap.
Lots of choices.
So yeah, you got to have more choices. If by more lead gen, this one client that I not wasted, but spent that much time with, I could have been dealing with multiple clients rather than spending a lot of time with her. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. All right, guys.
I like to bet on it, guys. Are you willing to bet?
Mm-hmm.
You willing to bet 1,700,000?
Yep.
On a cheap
how much?
realtor?
Yep. Always ask them, how much is your home worth? Well, it's worth 1 point blah, blah, blah. Okay. Would you make me a bet right now for $1.2 million that by hiring an agent that charges 0%, your home will sell and you'll net more money? Will you take that bet right now?
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Don. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.